In the early 80s, a waiter and a local newspaper illustrator got together, they looked at Daredevil and thought, he's pretty cool, but what if instead of one guy, he's four? And instead of them being guys, they're friggin' turtles! Hi, I'm Anthonix Maximus, bitching to you about movies because what am I going to do, develop a talent and make my own? Well, Anthonix Maxiteers, you're probably thinking to yourself, why is this guy wearing a mask? Well, I'll tell you. I'm the fifth Ninja Turtle. Yeah, I decided to become a Ninja Turtle. And it makes sense too, right? Because I live in New York, I love pizza, I have the build of a turtle, and I've woken up in a sewer a few times. Not to mention, this year is also the 30th anniversary of the premiere of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, or as known in some countries, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. In 1983, a waiter named Kevin Eastman moved up to Northampton, Massachusetts in pursuit of a newspaper to publish his work. And that is where he met newspaper illustrator Peter Laird. With the combination of a tax return and Kevin Eastman's uncle's $1,000 loan, the two of them were able to publish their first issue of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles under Mirage Studios in 1984. Soon enough, the comic was a success. It gained the attention of other publishers and even Playmates Toy Company, and eventually it became a cartoon series. The success of the comic had such a snowball effect that many decisions were no longer in the hands of Eastman and Laird, especially the kid-friendly cartoon series that was developed. In 1987, the cartoon series made the Ninja Turtles a household name, and boy did it take a lot of liberties. Now bear with me as I go into the original synopsis of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. As I mentioned earlier, the Ninja Turtles are a sort of parody of Daredevil. It is jokingly implied that the same chemicals that made young Matt Murdock blind happens to be the same ooze that created the Ninja Turtles. And their rat sensei, Splinter, is a parody of Stick. Because, get it? Splinter, Stick. And the foot is a parody of the hand. Womp womp. In the original story, Splinter was, of course, the pet rat of Hamato Yoshi. And Yoshi had a love for a woman named Tang Shen, and so did his rival Urukunagi. Hamato Yoshi and Urukunagi were part of the Foot Clan. Hamato Yoshi eventually won the love of Tang Shen, but in a fit of rage, Urukunagi attacked her. And because of that, this made Hamato Yoshi angry enough to attack Urukunagi. And no matter the circumstances, it was considered a dishonor that Hamato Yoshi killed another Foot Clan member. And instead of killing himself as penance, Hamato Yoshi took Tang Shen and Splinter and fled to New York. And eventually, Urukunagi's little brother, Urukusaki, grew up and rose in ranks of the Foot and took over and became the Shredder, seeking revenge. And eventually, Shredder tracked down Hamato Yoshi and Tang Shen and murdered the two of them. Hidden in the sewers, Splinter found 4 turtles and some ooze, and it mutated all of them into anthropomorphic beings. Now, because of media, we assume that Splinter and the Ninja Turtles have a father-son's type of relationship. But in this story, nope. Fact is, Splinter used Hamato Yoshi's ninjutsu knowledge and trained the 4 turtles for one sole purpose: to kill the Shredder. Now, for a parody, it's a pretty messed up story. And the cartoon changed things to make it more kid-friendly. In the cartoon version, Splinter and Hamato Yoshi are the same person. By cartoon logic, the ooze works in a way of, if you come across it, you transform into something that you last touch. So him touching a rat made him become a rat. He also touched the turtles, but the turtles touched him, so it made them anthropomorphic, if that makes sense. I don't know, the friggin' ooze does what it wants to do. Also, the cartoon cuts out the whole Urukunagi thing and just always made it about Urukusaki. Tang Shen is not even mentioned in the original cartoon. The Ninja Turtles' ally, April O'Neil, was actually a lab assistant to Baxter Stockman in the comics. But in the cartoons, they made her a TV reporter, which now kind of carries on to further comics and further interpretations, but it's usually lab assistant first. And Shredder was never meant to be the main villain. That's why he was killed almost immediately. And over the years, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story has changed a few times, but It's pretty consistent for the most part, but this movie takes a lot from the Mirage Studios comics, but incorporates some of the cartoon folklore as well. Wow. Okay, with that out of the way, let's review the movie. New York City, 1990. Overcrowded. Smog. A lot of traffic. Angry people. Same as today, but more hipsters.
Who have fallen prey to the recent surge of crime that continues to plague the city.
There you have it. 3 teenagers and a foot soldier work together to steal, I don't know, $20? Shredder, you madman!
Only a few vague reports of young boys or teenagers at the scenes have been filed.
My God, those foot soldiers are working for Mario, who apparently has a diaper service now.
Crimes without criminals, an invisible gang at work.
I bet those boys would be more behaved if they had Wendy's. What, you thought I was gonna say McDonald's? Ha! McDonald's sends them to Cobra.
But perhaps the most disturbing silence is that coming from City Hall.
Now, someone had to be MSNBC before MSNBC. And this is April O'Neil, played by Judith Hoag, the mom from those Halloween Town movies. In this movie, April O'Neil is more like the cartoon counterpart, a reporter for Channel 3 instead of Channel 6, which is weird because Channel 3 isn't even a real channel. It's not. It's a channel you use when you want to play Nintendo. Sorry, I'll keep my nitpicking to a minimal. Maybe.
Bad timing.
You're telling me?
Get away from me! What do you think
Nice little Ninja Turtle intro, but I don't think Raphael would have thrown his size so sloppy. But then again, I don't think they can do another take because in an independent film they probably can only afford 1 light bulb. Okay, he only said damn, but when you're a kid, let's face it, damn is also the equivalent of mother.
Oh yeah!
Greatest Ninja Turtle theme ever. So let me briefly tell you the voices. Leonardo is voiced by Brian Tochi from Revenge of the Nerds. Michelangelo is voiced by Robbie Rist, who was in the failed TV pilot of Revenge of the Nerds. Some of you might have known him as the voice of the alien in the Angry Video Game Nerd. And for the older people, or anyone who has TV Land or seen any TV syndication, you might know him as Cousin Oliver from The Brady Bunch. And Raphael is voiced by Josh Paz, or Paz. He played the guy that fired Arthur Fleck. But now that I know that the Joker was fired by Raphael, it all makes sense now. And Donatello is voiced by Corey Feldman from every greatest thing in the 80s. And Splinter is voiced by Kevin Clash, former voice of Elmo. I'll leave it at that.
You are still young, but one day I will be gone. I suggest we all meditate now.
Yeah!
Oh, you know, teenagers and their love for Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Terrific. Where the heck is 122 and an 8?
You're standing on it, dude.
Guys, you have no loyalty. Domino's is in the movie while you have Pizza Hut doing all the promotions.
Give me that.
Tab's 13.
You're 2 minutes late, dudes. Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Also, New Yorkers don't eat from pizza chains, unless it's super late and we're just too drunk to make rational decisions. And of course his name's Tony.
Woohoo! It dices, it slices, and yet makes French fries in 3 different.
Okay, I've about had it with movies making food look much better than they do in real life. And Domino's do not cut your pizzas for customers. I said I would maybe keep my nitpicks to a minimum. Maybe. But honestly, I'm actually nitpicking because I really do love this movie.
Where did they come up with this stuff?
Oh, come on, Raphael. You had many options. You had Home Alone, you had Gremlins 2, you had Dick Tracy, you even had Proud Child. Not my fault you decided to go with a movie that had been out 4 years prior.
was that?
It's just a guy in a trench coat. Nothing different.
Well, that was a crime, you purse-scrubbing pukes. And this is, the penalty.
And only this era can produce some badasses.
How about a 5-minute game misconduct for roughing, pal?
These JV lowlifes need to be taught a lesson.
Not like that, they don't. Not from you.
And this is Casey Jones, played by Elias Koteas. He's been in many great things, but I only acknowledge him for this movie, Look Who's Talking To, and in Harold and Kumar Save Christmas.
A Jose Canseco bat? Tell me, you didn't pay money for this. Ooh, that's
God, this movie has such great lines. I don't understand what Raph is getting at, but it's still memorable, and I love it.
What the heck was that?
Looked like sort of a big turtle in a trench coat. You're gonna LaGuardia, right?
Yeah, you would think it's silly writing, but that's actual New York response. Oh, and the guy in the backseat is Josh Paz, the voice of Raphael. Also the guy that wore the costume of Raphael.
I'm not finished with you! Damn!
Greatest damn ever.
I have tried to channel your anger, Raphael. For you choose to face this enemy alone. I am here, my son.
Damn you, Jim Henson. How do you get guys in rubber suits to drive so much emotion out of me?
Are you denying that such an organization known as the Foot exists? I'm sorry, Jim. It often seems that somebody ought to.
See, when you're your own boss like Shredder, you can afford to have multiple TVs set on the same channel that you can destroy at any time.
Great.
1. Even in the COVID-19 era, the subway station is not going to be that empty. And 2. April was assaulted. Why is her crew not giving her a ride?
I deliver a message. Shut it.
More. The crime wave is hotly sending.
And that is how Raphael got his Psy back. Oh yeah, there's more.
I will tell you where we came from.
Talks.
From a broken canister nearby. I too was growing, particularly in intellect. And I was amazed at how intelligent they seemed.
I joke, but these little bastards are so adorable. Daddy, can we have Christmas? No, don't call me Daddy. Train and kill Rokosaki. Avenge the man who kept me in a cage.
Will I ever see you guys again?
Indubitably. Well, that depends on how fast you stuck your pizza.
Good time was had by all until this. Such an impactful scene. Until that old guy undermined it.
What's wrong?
Splinter.
Hello. Charles Pennington?
Yeah, who's this?
You got a son named Danny, Charles?
Okay, so let me explain the scene since I kind of ignored the boy for a bit. Danny is the boy you saw at the beginning of the movie working with a foot. He is the son of Charles. Charles is April's boss. Now that Danny is arrested, Chief Stearns is forcing Charles to stop April from reporting against City Hall. I'm only telling you this because as a kid, I did not understand the subtext. But at the same time, I'm glad the movie didn't dumb it down either.
You're exhausted.
I just had a rough night.
Let somebody else
It's
know.
New York. It's not the biggest creature he's seen that day.
The towels.
Charles, no, I just don't want you to see my unsightly bathtub ring. Okay, just out. Out.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be Dana Barrett's tub. It's no Technodrome, but it does have that sweet narc video game, so I'll allow it.
Yeah, man, anything you guys want, we got. Anything you want to do?
It's a young Sam Rockwell, the bad guy from Charlie's Angels, or the guy from Galaxy Quest, or Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2.
You got any cigarettes? Regular or menthol?
I'm not encouraging smoking, but let him decide. Never mind, I guess you answered the question for him.
Go. Play.
Go. Play. I like this guy. It's Tatsu. He's Shredder's right-hand man. He was a character that was only made for the movie. But I like him because he's a man of a few words, but still pretty damn intimidating. Think of him as an early prototype of Hun from the 2003 cartoon, or Tiger Claw from the 2012 cartoon. You're about to see the most menacing villain entrance ever. Suck it, Darth Vader. Oof. That score will make a man ovulate. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me geek out just real quick, alright? As a kid, I used to think Shredder's cape was black and made of some kind of garbage bag material. But I recently learned, because of this figure, that his cape is actually silver with black streaks. Okay, I'll just go back to being lonely now.
You are here because the outside world rejects you. This is your family. I am your father.
Really? You give him a mask, you give him a deep voice, and now you have him saying lines like, I am your father? Someone is plagiarizing Spaceballs. Guys, come on! Can't you make me proud and become a foot soldier, huh? Aren't I the cool, fun dad you get on the weekends? I mean, I got you arcade games, some indoor skate ramps, cigarettes, I feed you Burger King, and I got you Sam Rockwell, and I got you a pet. I mean, what else do you want from your cool dad? All I ask is one thing, and join your old man's league. Sorry, I didn't mean to explode on you. I love you, and I am already proud of you. So let's just have a good time, huh? So, how's your mom doing? Did she get this month's alimony check? Yes. That's good, real good. Is she still seeing Ted? No. Oh, really? Now she's dating our soccer coach. Never mind, go kill some turtles. Huh, how could they have known where they were staying? That snitch-ass bitch.
A fellow chucker, eh?
Can we just take a moment to admire the choreography of these stunt guys wearing foam rubber suits?
Now, you guys mind telling me what you're doing with my little green pal over there? Oh, who is the babe?
In my head, I like to think Casey Jones ran right over to have another round, but found himself in a bigger situation. Yeah, they don't exactly shy away from death too much in this movie. What else is funny is, in the 80s cartoon, foot soldiers were killed off because they were machines. That's the only way the turtles were allowed to use weapons. But in this movie, they're not machines, they're teenagers.
What?
April, it's Charles. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say this. You're fired, April.
Go ahead, Charles. Announce April's business right in front of her guests. Yeah, granted, April's father had an antique shop in the first floor, but there's no way April had the whole entire building. People have had died. This is similar to the comic book and even the cartoon, except for instead of a fire, April loses her place to a bunch of robotic Mousers trying to attack Splinter. Whoa, Shredder just slapped... Holy shit, that stare gets me every time. I'm not even in the movie and I feel ashamed for failing to kill the turtles.
You'll be alright. You'll be alright.
Fun fact, it was written that Tatsu actually kills the kid, but because of the test audience reaction, they ended up ADRing the gasping breath. So it's not exactly a fun fact at all.
How can a face so young wear so many burdens?
So, you can talk.
I can sing!
My ear is open.
It's funny, he said, my ear is open because, well, you'll find out.
My dad could care less about me.
All fathers care for their sons.
No, my dad told me he hates me.
All fathers care for their sons.
This morning my dad sat me in a car and tried to drop a match into the gas tank.
All fathers care for their sons.
Go back to bed, old man.
Oh, well, you failed miserably.
Hey, Broadzilla, you wouldn't even be standing here if it weren't for me, okay?
Such sexual tension. If they were to kiss right now, it would be like two feather dusters wrestling.
My amazing new friends have suffered their first real defeat.
Normally I would say it's cliche to have narration, especially this late in a film, but this works for a few reasons. This is a device for April to convey emotions as she is the avatar for the audience. The narration covers the growth of the turtles as they now have to cope with the loss of their surrogate father, the loss of their homes, and one of their brothers being out of commission. We also get to observe Leonardo depressed and guilt-stricken as he probably thinks he failed as a leader. Not to mention the last thing he told Raphael is to leave.
You're awake. About what I said before. Don't.
Yay, Raphael is awake from his coma. See, Vincent? Raphael was in a coma, and they didn't take him to the hospital either, so, radical. Maybe you should be wearing this red mask, since you're as petty as Raph.
It's a Kodak moment.
Help! Get me out of here! I've seen this movie more times than I can count. And each time I still discover something new. Even as I was writing this review, I discovered that while they were training, they weren't just wearing bandanas, they were switching off on who was wearing blindfolds. Oh, no, not this scene. Not this scene.
I am proud of you, my sons. Tonight, you have learned the final and greatest truth of the ninja. I love you all, my sons.
If that scene does not make you cry, you do not have a soul. Look at that. Tears. The leader is emotional, the nerd is crying, the asshole is in pieces, and even the childish Mikey has gotten real. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. You'll make a bitch out of us all.
It's time to go back.
Yeah! Go get him, Ninja Turtles. Take Manhattan back from Jason.
Danny?
Don't shoot. I don't think it's loaded, kid.
I'm sorry, it's the writing. It makes it difficult for me to roast this movie.
Hold it. Okay. Now, what is all this talk about spending the night down here?
You're a claustrophobic.
You want a fist in the mouth? I've never even looked at another guy before.
Gay joke. Probably wouldn't work in today's climate. And because of that one line from decades ago, the entire movie is bad.
Thanks.
Do you think maybe I could have one?
Sure, why not?
Do you like penicillin on your pizza?
Ew, penicillin. It does sound like a typical Domino's topping. Ooh, Anthonix Maxiteers, before I forget, Anthonix Maximus Reviews actually has its first sponsor. Our sponsor today is... Son of a...
Because the outside world rejects you.
And you have no one to go to, Danny?
This is your family.
Dental plan!
Lisa needs braces.
What? The manhole was light enough for you to open, but heavy for you to close? Damn it, Danny, your treachery has no bounds.
Many years ago, I lived in Japan. A pet of my master Yoshi.
So the story is like the comics, however, it removes Urokunagi and keeps the connection solely to Urokusaki. And it removes the fact that Hamato Yoshi was part of the foot.
Biting and clawing, but he threw me to the floor, his katana slicing my ear, and I was alone.
And now you see why I laughed at Splinter's open ear statement.
Whatever happened to this Orokusaki?
No one really knows.
I know! And so do you, I told you earlier. What are you doing? You know he's young, right? Oh, thank God.
There will be no mistake this time.
Yes! Sid Vicious is on the case.
This time, I go myself.
Oh.
They're gonna kill Splinter.
The foot take to our heroes. And take out Pennywise as well. It's the fight of the century. A martial arts master versus an injured former hockey player. Who will win? You guessed it, the former hockey player with a golf club.
Hey! Wait for me! God, I love being a turtle!
See, Hollywood, you can have a dark movie with mature subject matters and still be fun. And keep in mind, this is an independent film with a low budget. I'm sorry, I guess I'm supposed to say something snarky, but I'm just enjoying this right now.
Now you face the Shredder.
Hell yeah! In the original comics, as I mentioned, Shredder was not meant to be the big bad. That is why he was brushed off and eventually killed off when he tried to throw a thermal grenade. But Donnie used his bow staff to bat it right back to him. And here we actually get to see the turtles use their weapons, unlike in the cartoons where they were only allowed to use them on robots. See what I mean? Leonardo actually got to land a hit on Shredder outside of the comics.
He dies.
Huh?
Now your fate will be his.
Splinter!
Yeah, finish it.
We met many years ago in the home of my master, Hamato Yoshi.
Sam.
The whole Scar thing was added for this movie, but kind of was adapted into other forms as well. Oh, right. Internet movie reviewer. Gee, with a face like that, I can see why he has a mask.
Death comes for us all, Urokusaki. For when you die, it will be...
Well, I hope that's not a hostage.
Bullseye. Without honor.
Oops!
Casey Jones, you psychopath. You don't even know who that guy is. Is your kill switch that easy? Where does your taste for blood end?
Kids.
Are you all right?
I'm okay. Dad, it's just Dan now, okay?
Dan. Somebody better talk to me.
Check out the East Warehouse over Ledman Island. Get your answers there.
Samuel Archibald Rockwell, don't you know snitches get stitches? And with April now rehired at the news station, her and Casey Jones finally kiss. She's gonna be the one that pays for everything in the relationship, isn't she?
I have always liked Cowabunga.
I made her funny.
Splinter, I don't know about funny, but you made a happy ending. And that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or to some of you, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. There's not much more I can say about this movie. It's probably the best way to introduce someone to this franchise. And I will go as far as to say this is the greatest Ninja Turtles movie of all. Second to Batman vs. the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles have crossed over with Batman, Ghostbusters, and Power Rangers. Bonus! Fun fact! This film was the highest grossing independent film of all time until it was beaten out by Pulp Fiction. Well, since Vincent and I are quarantined in this home, I guess I'll just scour the internet for some more NECA Ninja Turtle figures. But I swear, if NECA does not make a Sam Rockwell figure that comes with cartons of cigarettes as accessories, the whole entire set will be thrown out. Hi, Anthonix Maxiteers. I'm Anthonix Maximus. You may recognize me from the cover of Teen Vogue or Tiger Beat. I just wanted to say thank you for getting me to a new milestone in subscriptions. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.